The year is 2025, Donald Trump is back in the White House, and he had an idea, a very Trumpian idea. He decided the government needed a new department. Not just any department, mind you, this one would tackle waste. He called it the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE for short. Yes, DOGE, like the internet meme. How innovative, and who better to lead this bold initiative? None other than Elon Musk, the man of rockets, electric cars, and questionable tweets. Trump saw him as a genius, a maverick who could shake up Washington. Musk was tasked with a simple goal: cut government spending, drastically. The initial fanfare was significant. Musk, ever the showman, embraced the role. He arrived with promises of radical change. He spoke of slashing bureaucratic red tape. He aimed to make government lean. The target was ambitious, a cool $1 trillion in savings. The Department of Government Efficiency was born. Its mission was clear, at least on paper: reduce the national debt. Fast forward about 4 months, to late May 2025. Elon Musk's tenure at DOGE was ending. A rather brief stint, all things considered. Trump decided to host a formal send-off. An Oval Office affair, no less. The cameras were rolling. The world was watching, or at least some of it. It was supposed to be a goodbye, a thank you for Musk's service. But this is Trump we're talking about. So, simple was never really on the menu. Trump began with what sounded like praise. He called Musk one of the greatest business leaders, an innovator the world has ever produced. Strong words. He credited Musk with leading a sweeping reform program, changing mindsets, detecting fraud, reducing waste. It sounded like a glowing report card. Musk had apparently done a fantastic job, or so it seemed for a moment. The official narrative was one of success, a partnership that yielded great results for America. Then came the Trumpian twist. He declared Musk was not really leaving. Oh no, not at all. He'd be back and forth, Trump insisted. DOGE was Musk's baby, after all. So, let's dissect Trump's remarks more closely. Were they a heartfelt tribute, or was there a subtle or not so subtle roast involved? The public praise was certainly there. Greatest innovator, sweeping reform, check. But then, the private comments started to leak, and they painted a slightly different picture, a picture with more texture. Trump reportedly questioned Musk's actual impact. He asked his advisors quite bluntly, was it all bulls? A rather direct query, wouldn't you say? This wasn't the only curious comment. Trump also described Musk in a peculiar way. He said Musk was 50% genius, 50% boy. Now, what does that even mean? Is it a compliment, acknowledging brilliance, or a dig, implying immaturity? With Trump, it's often a delightful guessing game. It certainly doesn't sound like unadulterated admiration. It sounds more like a backhanded compliment, the kind you give to a precocious child who just set fire to the curtains but also aced his math test. The 50% boy line is particularly telling. It hints at a certain frustration, perhaps with Musk's unpredictable nature, or his tendency for public gaffes, or maybe his inability to deliver that trillion-dollar cut. Now let's talk about the actual numbers, the supposed achievements of DOGE under Musk. Musk's grand, audacious goal was to cut $1 trillion from the federal budget. Did he achieve it? Spoiler, no, not even close as it turns out. The reality was far more modest, and far more disputed, which is always fun. It's like a magic trick where the rabbit is, well, missing, and someone claims it was a very small invisible rabbit. DOGE, under Musk's 4-month reign, claimed some savings. They announced they had saved the US government $175 billion. That's the official figure, as of late May 2025. It's not a trillion, but it's not nothing. Or is it? The plot, as they say, thickens. A BBC analysis dug into these numbers. They found that only 61.5 billion of these savings were itemized. And of that, they could only find evidence for 32.5 billion. Suddenly, 175 billion looks a lot less impressive. It's like ordering a large pizza and getting a single slice. The Daily Beast reported a similar, slightly lower figure. They said Musk only managed to cut 170 billion. And even that number has been questioned. So, the actual, verifiable savings are murky, somewhere between a decent chunk of change and, well, less. Section 5. The eccentric engineer, black eyes, and billionaire banter. Beyond the budget battles and political posturing, there were, of course, the uniquely Muskian moments. The man is never boring, you have to give him that. He ended his Doge tenure not just with a bruised reputation but also with a literal black eye. Yes, a shiner, on one of the world's richest men, seen at his formal White House send-off. Naturally, everyone wanted to know what happened. Did he get into a fight over budget allocations? Did a disgruntled federal employee finally snap? The speculation was, predictably, wild. Musk, however, had a rather charming explanation, or at least, a disarming one. He humorously attributed the black eye to his son, his 5-year-old son, XAEA-12. Apparently young X has quite a right hook. X hit me, Musk reportedly quipped. It's a relatable story for many parents, though most don't have to explain it at a presidential press conference. It added a touch of bizarre normalcy to the proceedings. A billionaire, bruised by his toddler. Welcome to 2025. This wasn't the only moment of levity, or perhaps carefully managed public relations. Musk has a history of using humor, often to deflect criticism or awkward questions. His tenure at DOGE was no different. He maintained a certain public persona, even as controversies swirled around him and his companies faced significant challenges. Section 6. Beyond the spreadsheets, layoffs, protests, and personal problems. Musk's time at DOGE wasn't just about numbers. His 4 months were marked by significant controversy. His cost-cutting measures were not gentle. Proposals for mass layoffs in federal agencies, which understandably did not go down well, with federal employees or their unions, or anyone who relies on government services. Then, there were the international implications. Some proposed cuts hit programs like USAID, leading to concerns about America's global role, and its commitments to international development. This in turn fueled protests, not just in the US but globally, and not just against DOGE's policies, but also against Tesla, one of Musk's flagship companies. Tesla faced plummeting sales during this period, a 71% drop in net income in the first quarter of 2025. Ouch! The DOGE gig was not exactly a brand enhancer for Tesla, and then there were the personal allegations. Because with Musk, the professional and personal often blur. A New York Times report, published before his departure, detailed alleged frequent drug use by Musk. We're talking ecstasy, magic mushrooms, ketamine, and Adderall. The report linked this alleged use to his erratic behavior. Musk naturally dismissed the report. Section 7, the future of frugality, DOGE post-Musk, sort of. So Elon Musk has left DOGE, or he's back and forth. It's a bit like quantum physics. He's both there and not there until you observe him. What does this mean for the future of the department? The Department of Government Efficiency. Will it continue its quest for that elusive trillion, or will it fade into bureaucratic obscurity, like so many ambitious government initiatives before it? The signals, much like Musk's employment status, are mixed. It's all wonderfully clear as mud. Musk himself projected confidence. The DOGE team will only grow stronger over time, he stated. He committed that DOGE will continue to seek that full $1 trillion in reductions. So, the dream is still alive, apparently. Even if its chief dreamer is only partially present. Trump, for his part, also wants DOGE to continue. He hopes its efforts will fund further tax cuts, and, of course, increases in defense spending, because nothing says government efficiency like more military hardware. It's a classic political balancing act. But who will lead the charge, if Musk is only sporadically involved? Will a new champion of cuts emerge, or will the department be run by committee, by the existing DOGE team Musk mentioned? The practicalities of its continued operation are unclear. Without Musk's high profile and direct line to Trump, DOGE might struggle for relevance and resources. Section 8. Musk's mixed bag, personal wins and corporate woes. While the $1 trillion savings goal remained elusive, Elon Musk didn't exactly walk away from DOGE empty-handed. His brief foray into government service came with some significant personal and strategic benefits. It's not all about the altruistic pursuit of efficiency, you see. There were some rather convenient outcomes for Musk Inc. He managed to get his allies appointed, to lead NASA and the Air Force. These are, coincidentally, key customers for SpaceX, his rocket company. What a happy accident. This ensures friendly faces in very important places. These appointments are no small thing. They represent a significant win for Musk, potentially worth far more to his businesses than any salary he might have foregone at DOGE. It's a classic example of leveraging public service for private or at least corporate advantage. This aspect often gets lost in the big headlines about budget cuts and black eyes, but it's a crucial part of the Washington game. And Musk, for all his outsider persona, learned to play it, or perhaps he already knew how. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The DOGE stint coincided with serious trouble for Tesla. As mentioned, sales plummeted dramatically. Net income took a massive 71% nosedive. In the first quarter of 2025, this put immense pressure on Musk. Section 9, Dollars, Diplomacy, and Distance, the Trump-Musk dynamic. The relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It's always been a fascinating one to watch. Two oversized egos orbiting each other, sometimes in alignment, sometimes in collision. Money has often been a part of this dance. Musk had previously been a generous donor. He gave $288 million to Trump's campaign, a substantial sum by any measure. But recently the financial taps seemed less open, or at least the flow was a bit more conditional. Musk had reportedly promised another $100 million to groups controlled by Trump's team. This was for the upcoming 2026 midterms. However, as of Musk's DOGE departure, that hefty sum had not yet materialized. This could be a point of contention. Trump values loyalty, especially financial loyalty. The delay in funding might have cooled relations, or perhaps Musk was waiting for the right moment, or the right concessions. It's a high-stakes game of give and take. Reports suggest their relationship grew more distant during Musk's 4-month DOGE tenure. The initial enthusiasm perhaps waned. As the complexities and frustrations of government work set in, Musk even expressed disappointment in a CBS interview regarding one of Trump's legislative efforts. Trump, in turn, defended his bill,